Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome to the first episode of Crunch Time with me, Joel Moran. And boy, oh boy, am I looking forward to talk about this game. Bills at Rams. The Bills blew out the Rams 31-10. Before I get on to my spiel about my thoughts on this game, I want to first thank the Game Day for allowing me to be on their platform and have a show on their platform. I'm extremely grateful for that. And for the overwhelming amount of support that I've been receiving from you guys. This wouldn't have been able to happen without you guys. Sometimes it's surreal, the position I'm actually in right now, and it's all thanks to you guys. And right now you may be wondering, where are you, Joel? This background, there's a fridge. And I'm at my dad's house. This is a living room / kitchen. So to the left of me is a TV. To the right is a stove. And I came to watch the football game with my dad. It's a tradition of ours, and he's leaving the country Saturday, and he won't be back until December. So because of that, this is the last football game that I'm going to be able to watch with him. So I decided not to be in my studio, decided to take the equipment, to his house, on a kitchen table, on a dining table. Let's film this podcast right after this game, and that's exactly what we're doing. After watching this game, first of all, it was an embarrassment for the Rams. The Bills deserve a lot of credit. Watching this game, I came away with two takeaways. For one, the Buffalo Bills, there is a reason why they are Super Bowl favorites. They just blew out the defending Super Bowl champions on the road. They beat them by 21 points. It could have been 30. The way that if you were watching the game, it could have been 30. They missed out on a lot of opportunities because of boneheaded turnovers. One by James Cook, a fumble by him. Then Isaiah McKenzie getting ripped by Terrell Lewis. There were a lot of things that didn't go their way, and they could have blew the Rams out even worse. And to me, the Bills are the most complete team in football. There's a reason why I'm picking them to win the Super Bowl this year. It's because I believe they're the most complete team. I believe Josh Allen is arguably the best quarterback. It's him or Patrick Mahomes for me. Josh Allen was spectacular. 354 total yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. One of them wasn't his fault. The other one was, and he completed 84% of his passes. And the biggest takeaway on offense was, for one, Ken Dorsey called an amazing game. Number two, the run game is going, and this is something that Sean McDermott has emphasized. He's wanted to be a more balanced football team, and Brian Daboll wasn't able to execute that plan. And by the looks of it, week one, Ken Dorsey is able to. He's not afraid to run Josh Allen. Devin Singletary had 48 yards, and he averaged 6 yards per carry. The offensive line was able to really do its job in the run game. They were able to push the defensive line. And a lot of those runs, there were a lot of running lanes and holes for the running backs to take advantage of. And I think that's in credit to Roger Saffold. That addition was huge for them in the offseason. He's one of the best run blockers in football right now at his position. And hopefully he doesn't have a serious injury, because I know he went down in the game. And then I didn't even mention the offensive weapons. Stephon Diggs, a touchdown, 122 yards. He had his way against Jalen Ramsey. And then Gabriel Davis. I mean, haven't I been preaching the Gabriel Davis breakout for quite some months now? Because I have. Gabriel Davis is the real deal. He is one of the better deep threats in football. He didn't have much of an opportunity in his first 2 seasons, because his first season you had Cole Beasley, you had some other guys in front of him. His second season they're bringing Emmanuel Sanders. Now this year, this the first real year where he has a chance to really take a majority of the snaps and be the true wide receiver 2, and he looked like it. I think he's going to have clear of 1,000 yards when the season's over with. Gabe Davis, this is his breakout season. I wholeheartedly believe in that. And then the Bills' defense. Leslie Frazier called an amazing game. 7 sacks, 7 tackles for loss, 15 quarterback hits, and 3 interceptions. The most impressive thing about the Bills is that they didn't blitz much. They barely blitzed and were able to get after Matthew Stafford time and time again. Jordan Phillips was huge. Von Miller had 2 sacks in his Bills debut. He is still a great player, and I think he is the missing piece to that Bills Super Bowl run. And then when talking about the corners, that's what really impressed me, because Right now, they're not starting household name corners. Yeah, Teron Johnson is a good player. Do most people know him? No. Dane Jackson, do most people know him? No. And then instead of starting your first round pick, Kyer Elam, who you drafted in the first round, you start Christian Benford, who was a 6th round pick, and I thought he held up pretty well. Even the Bills' weakest spot, which is the corners, looked pretty damn good. And as the season progresses, they're going to get Trey White back. The team's only going to get better. The Bills proved why they are Super Bowl favorites. And in saying that, I'm concerned about the defending Super Bowl champions. I'm concerned about the Los Angeles Rams. And no, this isn't an overreaction. This is a fact. They are going to regress. They are not going to repeat this season. They forced 4 turnovers against the Bills. They didn't score on either of those turnovers. They failed to capitalize on opportunities. And we are witnessing why it's so hard to repeat when you do win a championship. It's hard to keep your team intact. Some notable losses: Andrew Whitworth, Austin Corbett, and boy, were they missed tonight. Odell Beckham Jr., Robert Woods. On defense, Darius Williams, Von Miller. I mean, these are huge. These are big-time losses. And the secondary in this game got exposed because everybody outside of Jalen Ramsey really isn't that good, and they don't have much depth. And when talking about the Rams, they made 2 big-time offseason acquisitions: Allen Robinson and Bobby Wagner. Allen Robinson had 1 catch, 12 yards, and he had 2 targets. Bobby Wagner, he's been regressing in coverage year after year for the past couple of years. I think he's going to regress even more this season. He looks slow. He is not the same player. I think that was a bad decision by the Rams to get Bobby Wagner. And eventually time will tell with Allen Robinson. We don't know yet. But I think Bobby Wagner, for sure, it wasn't a good decision. So there were 2 big-time acquisitions. Weren't big-time in the season opener, at least. But the worst part about the Rams, and this is why I'm concerned about them. This is really why I'm concerned about the Rams. The offensive line is bad. They couldn't get any push in the run game. The running backs averaged 2.9 yards per carry as a team. And Stafford was hit on 36% of his dropbacks. Now, he was sacked 7 times versus the Bills. The last time Matthew Stafford was sacked 6 times was in 2018, Week 10, versus the Chicago Bears. This offensive line has reached Detroit Lions' Matthew Stafford offensive line bad, and it's only Week 1. And I don't think it's going to get much better because the Rams have a tough schedule. They're going to face a lot of great defensive lines. They're going to face the 49ers twice, and they have one of the best front sevens in football. And the Bills were able to do this without blitzing much. That just goes to show you just how bad the offensive line truly is. My biggest takeaway is that Matthew Stafford isn't 100%. And he won't, as the season progresses, get healthier. You get healthier in the offseason. When the season starts, players get banged up even more. Stafford is not going to get any healthier. His offensive line is bad. He's going to take a lot of hits. He threw 3 interceptions in the season opener. He led the league in interceptions last year with 17, tied with Trevor Lawrence. All signs point to the Rams not repeating. I'm not going to say not making the playoffs. I think that's a bit bizarre, but I don't think they repeat. And I think the 49ers are winning the NFC West. I found this stat, and I think it's interesting. The largest loss in a season opener by a defending Super Bowl champion, the 2013 Ravens by 22, the 2022 Rams by 21, the 1993 Cowboys by 19, the 1999 Broncos by 17, and the 1970 Chiefs by 17. Only the Cowboys won the Super Bowl, even by losing by such a large deficit in the season opener. The other teams didn't. And historically, teams that have gotten embarrassed this bad in the season opener haven't repeated. I don't think the Rams repeat. I think the Rams are going to teeter around the 9-11 wins. I would say closer to 10-9. I don't know if they get over 11 wins, or maybe 10 might be stretching it a bit too far. And listen, I like the Rams. I think they've done an amazing job building a team, and they put themselves in cap hell, and now it's catching up to them because they're unable to fill certain positions. They don't have much depth. Giving away all this draft capital, yes, you won a championship, and that's the ultimate goal, but now we're seeing the repercussions of that, is that they don't have much depth on their team. Stafford wasn't very good. 240 yards, 3 interceptions. All 3 were his fault. One to Dane Jackson. It was right to him. One to Jordan Poyer. He sailed it over Cooper Kupp, and Poyer caught it. And then one was by Boogie Basham, who tipped it at the line of scrimmage and then intercepted it for himself. I'm concerned about the Rams, and this is a legitimate concern, and you should be concerned about the Rams too.